Yeah, because changing it on the 4 hour, right, and gap pretty much gets created right there.
Let's see. Get this on the Instagram. Let everyone know we're live. Boom. All right, yeah. So I'll definitely keep an eye on gold as well. Um, it's weird. Crude has like done nothing since all that war stuff kind of broke out.
Yeah.
Yeah, actual garbage. Actual garbage.
What do you think index will do though?
Um, let's see. What are we looking at for MIQ? Yeah, I'm expecting at some point us to get a down close day. So, reaction versus prior day high can be pretty key.
Yeah, and ES kind of do the same thing and rejected that daily gap up there.
Yeah, I mean it's only a matter of time. Yeah, the daily
Yeah.
gap you're saying. Oh yeah. So yeah, a trade like that where it's like layering the that previous gap with the near term action of like a rollover point right here. Yeah, I do think it'd be good for at least a prior day low. Give us a little bit of an outside bar.
Yeah.
I mean, that's that's a pretty decent trade there by itself. You don't even have to worry about anything else happening. So I like setups like that where it's just level to level, and then
Yeah.
even if it's still bullish after that, it's like cool. By all means, do your thing. Boom.
Yeah, I am short on gold. See?
Show comments. Oh, so we get the comments to pop up on here on the stream. Interesting. I think the gold short looked good. The structure makes sense. We'll definitely see how we play into the open. Oh, we play into the open.
NASDAQ, the gap under where we went from to.
Was that about Nasdaq?
Yeah, so it's starting to be above previous day high again.
Yeah, yeah. It's like it's. So we'll get these levels marked out real nice and neat. But I see what you're saying. So looking at prior day high, obviously, yeah, that's like our main inflection point. Yeah, it did have a really nice reaction initially to VWAP as well. That's something as soon as I woke up, I noticed that. And then yeah, prior day low right here. So the question is, yeah, whether or not like what we saw with these three drives right here, if this is valid or not, is honestly what we'll get some more info on pretty soon. But yeah, it's a tricky location because on the lower time frames, like what do we have? We just have a big data candle essentially, or like a big data move, and then a bit of a range from there. So you can see this as like an accumulation for to then run higher with like a drop here, which if we're looking at prior day high right here as well, along with that structure, it's not the worst thing I've ever seen. It actually looks pretty clean. Ultra wide. Yeah, like what's a 30-minute look like? 30 minutes a giant hammer. So I do think bullish, at least for the open, is a very reasonable scenario.
Yeah, that hourly looks like it's gonna fly.
Yeah. 30-minute, 60-minute. Yeah, same type of energy for both. So we'll probably look to get some sort of long, at least to that local uh, data high, I guess.
Yeah.
It could be very reasonable. Yeah, I do not mind that at all. See, it's Thursday. Thursday, it's what, third week of the month. Yeah, good opportunity going to be present for sure. Very typical this time. Alrighty.
6 minutes.
Yeah, the question is, yeah, well, 6 minutes, where do I get involved? I mean, we do have this inverse gap right here. Okay, like a 2 minute. There's probably something, maybe 5 as well. Yeah, a little one on the 5.
Yeah.
So I could be looking to get involved anywhere around this prior day high area. Some sort of hold. I would want to see a little bit stronger, I think, though. At least like a little bit stronger with confirmation, some sort of detailed signature. Because right now we just have another swing point forming, so if it's just like that, I don't necessarily need to get in just yet because
Yeah.
last time we're above here, didn't really do all that much for us just yet. Get some jitters right here. That's the thing, like it could be ready to go, it might happen without me,
Yeah.
which is fine. I'd rather wait for a structure that tells me it'll hold near here than have to have like a stop at the low. But at the end of the day, it's really not even that big of a distance. We'll see. We'll see how it plays out.
Yeah. 4.5 minutes.
Yeah.
Mix is pretty low.
What are we looking at? Dang, yeah. 16 in the gutter. Yeah, VIX has completely died. I think we're due for a spike at some point, obviously.
Got it.
Just one down day. That's all you need. That's all you need is one down day to kind of reset sentiment. We are kind of flagging right there. So 3 minutes. See how this opens. I wouldn't say expectations are low today. I do think today could be a pretty decent trading day.
I think so
Especially if
too.
gold's weak. We could probably trade up to 600s if we are bullish.
Yeah, I got my next level at 668.
Yeah, that's almost all-time highs, right?
Yeah. We stabbed into that 15-minute gap on gold. Regretting if I should have gotten in or not.
Oh, just a little early or something on it still?
Yeah. Would have been nice to stop it right now.
Yeah, especially with the daily, the way it's looking.
Yeah.
It did reject pretty harshly, it seems, from that gap.
Yeah, we got rejection from the gap above us, and then kind of that indecision bar that's the previous day. So,
Yeah, a little bit of like a inverse type action going on as well in like the lower time frames.
yeah.
Right here. I mean, down to 33.25 seems pretty clear.
That's what I'm thinking. If you get a run up at the open, get a re-entry. It's not looking like that.
Yeah. I feel like this is one of those trades that happens in like 1 minute.
Yeah.
You know, because I don't think it's really all that much. Like we're talking like nothing.
For gold, that's a little distance. So
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Okay, we're starting to see some movement, yeah, with Nasdaq for sure. Nasdaq's giving a little bit of a push. Big old candle. So, yeah, I mean, either way you look at this, either the consolidation would have been a good entry, or I mean, it's about to get smoked. We'll see.
yeah.
Big movement though. Big movement.
$46.
Today was another one of those interesting overnight just kind of rallies,
Yeah.
which I mean, well, I think it does a lot for psychology. Gets people really excited for something, and then it just doesn't show up. Get it?
Yeah, that gold trade's gonna happen. It's gonna play out.
Yeah, just roll over. All right, let's see this open. So weakness off the open. Definitely not regretting my decision so far to be patient with this. We'll see if we get some sort of structure I can work with. I mean, what we're doing is kind of respecting like the 2-minute gap so far. And then, yeah, let's see. It'll probably just run the highs. Yeah, just a respect a priority high.
Yeah.
It's hard to say because, you know, these opening candles can be pretty whippy either way. And then still kind of go in a different direction than you might have thought in the first place. So like I feel like I'm looking at structure right now, trying to see is there some sort of cell that I can see? There might be, but it's like it's just so sideways at the top that it's more likely it's just gonna kind of roll and squeeze to the upside.
Yeah.
We'll see. We do have a little 15-minute gap it did to kind of reject, so that's notable.
Yeah, and on the 5-minute, we swept a little high to go deeper into the gap. I could see us revisiting that hourly gap.
Yeah, I mean I wouldn't complain for sure. See what kind of ranges are we working with? We got 30-point opening 2 minutes so far. It's gonna do a lot of damage right now for people. Just whipping back and forth. Let's see this. Especially, let's see what is gold doing at the moment. Gold's still continuing, yeah. So it looks like it's about to break that low.
Yeah.
Little order block type action. Interesting. We'll see. Maybe this is a little orb. A little late on this, but we'll see. Yeah, I can rock that. If this thing wicks back to highs, I'd actually be really, really surprised. But my thoughts are I'm looking at this series of up candles, kind of sweeping out these highs, referencing the 15-minute gap. Looking at that as a change in state, essentially from 15, 16, whatever.
Yeah.
We'll see. And she's just a little sloppy, but I only have 3 micros, so we'll see.
Your bias is too short.
I think it could go a little bit lower for sure. But these wicks are actually really really dramatic. Really dramatic. I don't think I've ever seen something like this actually. Now that I'm thinking about it, the fact that it just wicked almost it almost wicked 40 points to my stop immediately, which is wild. The last time that happened to me actually, where it whipped extremely aggressive on the short, was when there was like a big sell off. This was back in like March, maybe. Yeah, it might have been February or March. But I like, it was like a 10-point whip bounce in 1 minute on ES. And then it still closed lower. By the way, just a little feeler. I don't like how sloppy my entry was.
Yeah.
Very, very loose. I mean, we're talking 10 points. It could have been better. 12 points could have been better.
Yeah. And there goes gold for those lows.
Yeah, gold's rolling.
Missed that one.
It looked clean. It really did. It looked clean.
I wanted to see it dig deeper into the gap. I just have been burnt a couple different times on a wider stop. So I tried to leave it alone.
It's very weird structure on NQ, but the only thing I can really see at this moment, based on how we've opened, is us trading a little bit lower. However, it's clear this wick is probably just going to get me, which is kind of crazy. I'm seeing like 3 or 4 reasons for it to continue lower. Then it's just like, let me just bounce real aggressive really fast. As soon as you get in though, just wait for you to get in and then we'll bounce. Oh yeah, gold's nuking.
Yeah. I got the Tuesday low as well.
Yeah, that's what I was looking. When you first said the gold short, I thought Tuesday's low was easy. All right, let's see what we're doing.
Sounds good.
Okay, structure does look pretty bearish on NQ's 30-second chart. Doesn't look too bad. You got like a bearish gap, a sweep of the recent high. Now we're about to break below this right here. So it looks good for lower. I would add, but let's take it easy today. I'm in the mindset that we're going to see a down close day on the index, at least soon, right? So if it's not today, it might be, maybe it's TGIF, right? But TGIF can happen kind of on a Thursday too. It's nothing so set in stone where it's like, it has to be Friday that it reverses. Like, you know, fucking ridiculous that sounds. I won't even wake up unless it's a Friday. Like, dude, come on, grow up. I've seen the craziest thing happen on any day of the week. So it does look like a top signal, right? Like it does look pretty good for that. Yeah. So the target would be prior day low. It looks like we're getting a little bit of displacement. So we'll see. Maybe my entry wasn't so terrible, right? And everything to the left is just low resistance in my eyes. There's no sweeps, just like yesterday.
How do you feel about the 4 hour?
4 hours is going to be probably pretty strong, right? 4 hour looks good, no? I think 4 hour looks solid.
We did sweep and come right back down. That was very
4 hour looks really good, actually. Yeah, your little candle range theory bullshit or whatever. Right? Sweep over the high, so your little turtle soup up there if you want. I don't know. There's a million names for this stuff. It looks like it's failing to break out for sure. For sure. 15 looks heavy, very heavy. I do think 385 is more than reasonable if we don't just completely bounce all crazy.
I think we get short here.
Yeah. say the only thing I don't like about shorts is just like how quickly they will bounce. You're just like, come on, don't do that. Because longs don't do that. Longs do not have those like dead cat bounces.
Yeah.
We're just steep rally. So like if I was long and I see something like that, I'm like, oh god, I got to get out. But to the downside, it makes sense.
I'm in short currently.
Okay, nice. What? Yeah, it's probably a way better entry for you, expected value wise. Just because my entry was before any sort of pullback.
Yeah.
That's a nice little structured pullback right there.
Yeah, I'm in at 519, stop at 535.
Yeah, nice. Same entry pretty much. I'm 520.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna put my stop priority high. So we'll trim it a little bit.
I got my take profit at the Asia low.
Okay.
So roughly.
That's pretty close, no? It's like
Yeah, it's not far.
480 or something.
Up about 10 points currently. Looking for
Yeah.
another 60 basically.
Okay.
Let's see how we close here.
Yeah, I'll let it do whatever it wants. Like if it's gonna kind of pull back once we get closer to those structure, I'll take it off. But if not, I'll just kind of let it roll. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't have a prerogative with it.
This is where I get stuck though on what I should be doing because we've got the hourly gap that we failed to close out of.
Mm-hmm.
Just so conflicting.
Hourly gap. Oh yeah, I see it. Yeah, it's a tough one. It's a tough one right here. So looking at the structure. You can argue that it's just like working its way through the downside, but you can also argue that it's holding it and just like
That's what I was
maybe
thinking.
overshoot. Yep. Very, very tricky. Especially when you don't make a lower low on that next little, stab lower.
Yeah.
That stuff is annoying. We'll see though. We'll see. I mean, let's see, what are we looking at on?
We came back
We're
to
under
revisit
VWAP
that
too.
1 minute gap, so we'll see.
Yeah, there's a 1 minute gap. Like, is that what you just said?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's basically where I entered.
Needs to hold the underside of VWAP. ES is kind of pushing highs, which is not my favorite thing in the world to see. I would like to see more weakness. We'll maybe adjust some of our time frames right here. Yeah, I do like this 1 minute gap. I do. I'd maybe like to add here. Okay, I've added. I'm okay with that. Stop like 540. Yeah, so I've added to this trade. See if we get a nice little rollover.
Starting to push
Underside of
back down.
VWAP. Yeah. A new low would be really nice right here.
Be great.
It's gonna do the thing again where it falls short. A little higher low. Alright, looks like we're about to push lows. It's been a minute since I've seen a nice bearish day.
Seriously.
That's how you know it's getting extreme where I'm like, alright guys, come on, this has been too much. It's been too bullish. I'd just like to see it hold below new low day instead of bouncing every 2 seconds. ES looks a little bit weaker. If we could get ES to break, fuck. We have
We're looking good
midnight
there.
open right there. We have midnight open right at the low of day, like to the tick. Oh. All right. So those are our two predicaments. We have ES in a range, and we have NQ bouncing off of midnight open. So it's not the end of the world, but it's not my favorite thing to see. We have some news at 10, right? We have a little bit of news. Pending home sales, orange folder. So there could be some excitement there. Maybe it helps, maybe it doesn't. However, I do need to see something better than this little just double bottom.
Yeah. Yes. Horrid.
Yeah, it's just sideways. Nice little barcode action. I wonder if today's gonna be another example of why I think fair value gaps are just broken this year. Like I can't remember the last time I've been like, yeah, let me just buy this or short this 1 minute fair value gap, and it like really works.
Yeah.
It's like, no, let me just dig back all crazy. It looks so good too. That's the thing that's so annoying. I'm not like, oh no, this doesn't look good. It looks good enough to add to. And then it's like, you know what? We're just gonna give you a little bit of a megaphone pattern at the bottom.
I think my stop's gonna get ran here.
Yeah, I guess my stop's 540, so I think I'm pretty much the same spot as yours.
Mine's 539 to 25. I feel like that's safe.
Like it seems like it, right? It seems like it. But you get ES just holding the highs. NQ, it rejected, swept a high, 15 looked good. It was below an hourly gap, below VWAP. You even have like this 1 minute. Oh, okay. Never mind. We're good. Falls along, guys. I think we're good. I think we're good. You know what I mean? Like, we're like, this looks all right. Let's see. Thing is being held up by helium. Like, it's so fake. Oh, yeah, ES. ES just the biggest candle of the day so far. Like an 8-point candle in the 1 minute. Maybe we had 9 points.
I think that's what we need there.
Yeah, we really need that just to lose all confidence. Roll over. Roll over and die, please. If NQ could just like give one candle down to like 490,
Right.
that'd be nice. Just one, you know?
Still holding this gap. Jeez.
Yeah.
YM is up. Interesting.
Yeah. Good old YM in its own world. Yep. I see that. Alrighty. So, if we could get all the girls on the same page, we'll be chilling. I will say though, this year has been kind of just like leave the stops alone because it might take a while. Like yesterday, it's insane to think that if I didn't move my stop at all, it would have hit. It would have hit prior day high perfectly.
Which is beyond frustrating.
Yeah, I mean, it took, I don't know, hours to do it. But it happened nonetheless. It only got me by a couple points too, which is funny. Like I put it to a half stop, and then the last candle went 2 or 3 points above my stop, and then just rolled over. Very slow though. Not like what I expect today to move quick. I expect it to start moving quickly. So we'll see. We start seeing like strong closes below maybe 480. I'll start to look to trim risk, or not trim, just trail risk. But I'm not going to do anything just yet because if it wants to sweep higher one more time and just all this nonsense. I don't want it to get back in, get out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really, really, really respecting Midnight Open. Guarantee a lot of people are going to get chopped up in that.
I would imagine. Looking at the planet, though, every time I see that, I don't know if you maybe want to call it a flag pattern. Every time I see that, it just gives an imminent drop. So,
I hope so. I hope so. You typically those like traditional patterns when they look obvious, they work.
yeah.
So we'll see. Yeah, to me it just feels like an obvious top. Prior day high, 3 drives. You have a 15-minute inverse. We're now below that hourly gap we mentioned. We have 1 minute structure, 1 minute change in state, 1 minute
Yep.
inverse, 1 minute bearish fair value gap, below VWAP. VWAP sloping to the downside. It's another note for anybody watching. That downward slope of VWAP is telling me that volume's trading lower, and it's not just empty action happening at the bottoms. That means there's volume getting dragged to the downside. So people are trading those lower prices, which typically means with this slope VWAP is that we're going to see downside action. It's not just people getting trapped to one side. So yeah, we just need a little bit of confirmation, a little bit of follow through. And we'll be good. 10 minutes till some news.
We're pushing through midnight open too.
Yeah, now we're starting to see it. It's good. Very good.
For some sins and captains.
Yeah. One minute looks a little better. The hourly looks really nice. It's really heavy. So I think, yeah, your Asia low should be right there. Then 400, 385 right after that.
Yeah.
So another thing I like to do, obviously, if we're going into a daily fair value gap, which prior day low would be the top of that, I don't necessarily like to have my target much below that because I don't know how deep it wants to go. It could just go like one tick if it wants to, and then kind of reverse. So yeah, these low closes look good. Saw a long wick on the 1 minute, starts to get run out. Topping tail on this current candle. We'll see if it pushes to the downside. Yeah, realistically at this point, this is about where I start to consider to trail a little bit. I could either move it under or just above the swing high at like 532.
Yeah.
Or I can soon probably move a break even, you know. But for this to like, you know, the only way I get stopped out from down here is like a Trump tweet. You know?
Yeah.
Let's see, maybe a break even right now. But once it hits Asia low, I'm gonna trail it really, really aggressive just in case like I'm wrong aiming for more.
Yeah.
So, but if
I
I'm
might
right,
take them off. I mean, I'm up 2R, so
yeah, probably take something.
yeah.
Yeah, I'll move it to like 504 for me. I guess I could take 2 off. Let's see. What do I want to do? So many options.
That's actually pretty rough. I didn't do the micros.
Okay. I'd like for this just to continue lower.
Seriously.
Either way, my stop's at like 504 and just because I didn't take anything off at the low, I'll just leave it at 504.
I took mine off a little late. I should have taken it.
Yeah, it's really gonna get me. It's like a bitch. bitch. Give a couple pennies. I don't know, man. I feel like it needs to have more time to work. Yeah. All right, I'll give it time. I don't care. It'll either be break even or because I want to see how 10 a.m. Reacts.
Yeah.
And if it wants to just dig back on me until 10 a.m., it's like I don't really have a choice. I don't think I have to let it work. It'd be nice to have profit right now, but I do think news is going to play a factor. So if news is going to play a factor, it's going to push it one way or the other, really aggressive.
Yeah.
How stupid though. NQ is such a stupid market. I don't know why we trade it. They'll just new low, then just balance 40 points for no reason. You're like, oh, this is super clean to the downside. Maybe it'll finally give us our little breakaway. Just bounce.
From
It'll
nowhere.
always dig as far as it can back to your stop loss. Yeah, it already got my break even. Yeah, that's what a fucking piece of garbage. Like the easiest, cleanest short setup, and then just runs higher. And then it trades to prices that and regular NQ didn't do, I think. It looks like it. How was this? 21? Where this trade to? 17? Yeah, okay, it's getting a little weird. So micro NQ it wicked harder than regular NQ.
Yeah.
Oh well, that was a great short. It just didn't work. It's the name of the game this week. It's like go fuck yourself if you try.
I'm still in. I'm just gonna hold it. I mean, my stop would take me out and just give me break even for the day, which is not terrible.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, like I don't like that I'm out of the trade because I do think it could work. Yeah, that's that problem. I'm like, as soon as I thought I'm good to go break even, it's like, no, you're not. Just such high resistance conditions right now.
We refuse to close below that hourly again, too. Jeez.
Maybe we reject the downside of it right here. Maybe. Under view op.
I don't care for that wick at 15, so.
Say again?
I said, I don't care for that wick at 15. That's not looking favorable to me.
Yeah. Yeah, let's see that. Yeah, that's called bullshit, honestly. I hate that. You know, that's like legitimately the reason why I'm like, okay, let's go ahead and start to consider trailing because of how nicely this was holding to the downside, and then now it's like, yeah, let's just close back where we opened for that 15 minutes.
Yeah.
So that's legitimately the bulk of the profit from the trade. All right, let's see. We're back into VWAP. We'll see if we get some sort of like obvious hammer or something. Maybe I'll be able to re-engage.
If this takes me out, this is the best trade I'm locked.
Yeah, because the partials or what?
Yeah.
And gold.
I wish I took the gold trade.
Yeah.
Gold revisited that gap, too. Damn.
Everything's rallying at the same time. What's going on? Like we had a gold rally on the 1 minute, and then NQ's rallying. Like why? What's the point?
I think we may have
really did revisit it again. That's crazy.
about that forward gap.
Well, I really love to see, what is this, 10 1 minute candles in a row higher. I really love when I see that. Just,
Brutal.
yeah. I swear, a chart like this is something, it just makes me want to just trade ES. Just kidding. I look at ES, it's the worst thing I've ever seen today. All right, 1 minute till it goes new low a day again without us. What a
Took
resistant
that
market.
out.
Yeah, that's crazy. That is a crazy candle. What is this? All right, well, I guess that's why we trail stops, you know? Because it right now would be a full stop with full size for me. Well, I guess not full size, just full size for today.
I entered another position on gold
Yeah.
just because we dug in the gap. I got to lead into it, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully news is going to favor that for sure. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, new lows should be reasonable with that.
Just aiming for that low we created.
What a piece of shit with NASDAQ. Oh my god. How ugly. Like, yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
Someone out there is just like, yeah, that's great, man. That's awesome for you. But is it just midnight open? Is that just a 4 hour gap you said?
I guess so.
I mean,
That's brutal.
oh god, that's just a short squeeze for sure.
Just watch profit evaporate.
Yeah. All for it to probably end up going lower too. You know what I mean? All of that. So dramatic for no reason. So yeah. That's we're up officially $25.56. That's like half of a meal at Chick-fil-A. I often wonder when I'm up $25 what I'm gonna do with all of it. Where will I spend it? Get like just a gumdrop or something with all that money. So I think my inclination typically would be, oh look, we have a 1 minute gap forming above prior day high. I know in the past I'm like, yeah, let's long this. I think right now I'm kind of torn because there's no wick on the bottom of this 15-minute candle, and it's literally just right here. So this candle could flip after sweeping out these highs and then still continue lower. So it's not as picture perfect as I'd want. Like it's very sloppy. ES ran out all these highs as well. So now we're starting to get an SMT. Interesting. Someone's gonna get run over. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want it to be me.
I took my profit on that gold short. I said, you know what, I'm not going to watch profit evaporate again. Up $102 I'm done for the day. So
Yeah, easy money. $100. Call it a day.
yeah, we'll take it.
Yeah, I'm gonna give us a couple more minutes, watch it, see what we're gonna do, and then kind of determine what the game plan is. But I don't think today will be a day where we're on too long. You know, just in out. The short on Nasdaq is depressing. That was such a depressing trade. It looked like it wanted to work so bad, and then it just completely obliterates all hope. Like, you know, how do you not just give up after that?
Yeah.
And I was up, I don't know, what, $300 or something? So it's not like I was up a ton. 25 points on the short for 6 contracts.
think I was let's see. I was up about 30 points. Actually, about 40. Yeah.
Oh yeah, maybe it was more than shit for me. Do the same entry. So yeah, shit, I was up more than that. I just wasn't watching it, I guess. So yeah, we'll see how we react prior day high right here with this 1 minute fair value gap.
In hindsight, looking at this, the way we accumulated at the top, moved down into that 4 hour gap, and then take off. But again, in hindsight,
Yeah. The thing that's throwing me off, I think, is just like the fact that we have like the 3 drives. We look at like a 15, those 3 consecutive pushes higher. I don't really have too many examples where I see it like do something like that so cleanly where you're like, okay, this thing's getting tired, and then just roll over, and it even traded to anywhere like, I mean, yeah, it traded a 4 hour gap, I guess. It just seems like it just stopped midway for, I don't know, maybe no reason. Maybe it's actually like legitimately 50% of this range. Yeah, it stopped at 50% of the range from prior day low to pre New York highs. So I guess that does make sense. Perhaps I should have been looking at 50% of the range. My bad. Next time I'll consider everything. And every single thing I know, I will make sure that I consider. I won't forget a single aspect of any piece of analysis. All right, so I'm gonna watch this. Let's see. We're doing some weird stuff right here with this 1 minute at the highs. Let's see. But other than that, probably we'll be close to done for the day. Maybe we'll get the sell-off Friday.
You okay if I jump off? I gotta start working.
Yeah, of course, man. Yeah, thanks for hanging out today.
Of course.
Yeah. All right. Peace
I'll
out,
see
brother.
you.
Alrighty, so we'll finish up here really quick. Just kind of go over some of the things that I was thinking from today. Looking at this chart, obviously, there was a killer long setup. However, that just wasn't with what my bias was suggesting for the day. I did assume lower, and I'll walk you through the process as to why I thought that. Currently, we had a big rally overnight. So anytime we see these overnight expansions, I'm already on the side of thinking that we're looking for potentially a short, right? Potentially a short. Now, the question is whether or not we were going to see that rejection at the open or maybe 10 a.m. We started to see it move lower, started to see some inversions of like these previous levels, such as, like right here, there's a 15-minute gap. We also saw an hourly gap get inverted. And that led me to believe that we were going to potentially see lower prices for the day. Now, obviously, we're starting to see a little bit of rejection here. I might try the short. I might, like that, right? Try it like that with a stop like right there. And like, let's see, where would I want to aim? We'll see. I'm going to trim some before that, but I do want to see this candle flip. So we'll either be up like 100 or we'll see what we do. So we could potentially be down 130, pretty much max on the day. I do think that this has a potential to be a flip point. You have a 15-minute gap here. Really hard to say. Prior day high. I don't know how high it wants to dig. Maybe my stop's a little too aggressive, which is all right. I mean, I can always adjust it a little bit. I don't want to go too crazy with it though. I do think rejection here, though, makes sense. Let's see. Something like that. Yeah, something like that should make sense. Just want to see this 15-minute follow through to the downside. And if this doesn't work, then we'll be done. Don't need to overdo it on a day like this. Maybe a stop like this. I don't need it at the wick, I don't think. So we'll let this work. I just want to see a little bit of a lower high formation right here with this 15-minute candlestick. I do think a rollover would be clean. And I do want a partial out, like something, you know. We have this nice 1 minute right here. If this 1 minute inverted, the idea is that it holds below. We have prior day high right there as well. So I do think lower makes sense. But again, it's probabilities. This doesn't have to work. It is counter trend, if you will. But the signal makes sense to me, at least. I can see the logic behind it. The only thing that's a little ambiguous at the moment for me is just like stop placement. I could have at the very wick high. I think 572 is okay. But I will probably take one off on any initial like push. Whether that's 500, 510 or something like that. I'll be looking to pull one off. Just give me some sort of displacement is the idea. Yeah, we have the SMT at highs as well, so that's something that I'm also paying attention to. The SMT right there. Boom. Get rid of some of this. It makes sense. The idea makes sense to me. Rejection of prior day high. You know, I could keep running through the confluences. It makes sense. All right, well, we'll let this work, and yeah, we'll see what happens. Clear up some of these levels. Very resistant so far, though. Which, I mean, it's at prior day high. I'm banking on it failing at prior day high. So that's where that logic comes from. SMT up here. Get rid of this. Yeah, so we'll see what happens. If not, we're down $200 on the day, which is fine. This will be my last attempt. I'm gonna grab some water, but I do think it's a worthy shot, just based on the 15. If it flips, then so be it. But if not, you know, live to trade another day. So like I was saying on yesterday's stream, in the Discord, I prefer if this just stops me out early because this is just the idea that I have. So if it doesn't work, I'd rather it just be wrong right now. I don't want it to wait. I'd rather it just stop me out immediately. All right, 5 seconds left on this 15-minute candle. We're closing near the open of it. Now let's see what we do on this next candle. Really, really hoping on this, or just banking on this SMT idea, holding at the highs. Looks good to me, you know. So I guess good thing I moved the stop a little bit because I do think that first leg right there would have whipped me out. We're not in the clear yet, obviously, but at least we have a chance for it to work. So now we just chill. Hopefully it stops us out soon, or hopefully we get a strong move below prior day high to confirm what we're looking for. But I don't want to sit in this all day if it's not going to do anything. Just based on how springy or resistant price action is to going lower, I don't think this is going to work at this moment. So letting it just grab my stop will be good. So then I can be done. Because obviously I don't have a good read if this isn't going to work for the day. Yeah. Again, if you weren't here in the beginning, I'll kind of just walk you through what my premise was for today. And whether or not it plays out is really doesn't matter too much. So my idea was I thought prior day high would be swept and rejected essentially. And that's what we saw early in the day, right? We saw that happen early. Then we saw just a macro essentially that, last 10 minutes of the hour really rip. And to me, it doesn't seem all that genuine. Like really. So the way I'm looking at it now is potentially this is just one more revisit higher. We did get SMT with 15-minute structure on ES as well. So that led me to believe that maybe this is just one last run above for us to then roll over to then potentially go for prior day low. So that's my thought process for today. I do expect there to be a down closed day on the index at some point very soon because well, what goes up must come down, right? It can't just keep going up forever. So the probability of a reversal increases the more consecutive days higher there are. And you can see we're kind of topping out, like it's starting to narrow. Doesn't have to be today, it could be tomorrow, but I do think there's a reasonable expectation based on where we opened. So that's what I'm looking at specifically. It doesn't have to happen today. It's fine if it doesn't happen. I'd rather it not happen like pretty soon then. Stop me out. But that's my expectation. What did I use for an entry criteria? It's going to be just this 30-second right here, or I guess even 1 minute more than likely. Yeah, just this 30-second inverse gap. Entered here, prior day high, inverse gap. Stop above this high right here, in between this candle's wick. That's what I thought would be reasonable. And whether or not this just moves sideways and reclaims it a couple times and whatever. But looked good to me. Still think it could work. Which is why I haven't taken it off completely. Like, there's still opportunity for it to work. It's just being pretty sticky given the fact that it's inside this previous candle's range. So, let's let you think. Again, you have ES pushing highs. ES has been extremely strong this session. It's just been super, super persistent. So it's just dragging everything higher. Here we go. Let's see. More than likely the stop is like within a couple minutes, which is nice because then I can go chill out. And then, you know, we'll be back tomorrow. So yeah, if you guys have questions about anything, any strategy, whatever, anything you see me doing, how I handle wins, how I handle losses, fire away the questions. I'm here just chilling, so feel free to ask away. Leave comments. I see all that stuff. We'll make this a regular thing to stream in the morning. Nice little chill stream. Walk you through my process, show you that trading is pretty lackluster, right? Like, it could be pretty boring whether you win, whether you lose. And that's honestly what makes it easier. The less you care about it, the more you will perform. Okay, this is getting ridiculous. Just all it needs to do is just like one little push. We're talking 2 points. Come on. It's literally 5 points away. Just go for it. Go. Go. Hit it. Thank you. All right, so we're done for the day. Down 240. Whatever, right? Like, I'm done with this. I don't really care to continue. I'm just gonna lock out. Done. There you go, guys. That's how you win by losing. You just know when to cut it. Instead of sitting here and being like, whoa, oh no, it went higher, so now I need to buy it. Look, man, I thought it was going to go lower, so that's what I went with. I'm not going to immediately change my mind because I was wrong. You know? If I thought it was going to go higher, I would be trading that. But that's not the structure that made sense to me today. It's all probabilities, you know? Just because a trade makes sense to someone doesn't mean they're right every single day. So it doesn't really matter what your opinion is, you know? You can be bullish or bearish. You're going to be right a percentage of the time. That's the name of the game. So hopefully you guys learned something. We'll be back tomorrow. If you have questions, leave a comment. And yeah, until next time, take care. Love you. Peace out. Bye. See you next time. Adios.